Hello there, it's Richmond here, and I welcome you to the second episode of the Xplore series. In today's series, we are going to learn how to download and install the Xplore IDE and also how to connect it to our Xplore Bot and some basic features of the Xplore IDE. First of all, what is the Xplore IDE? The Xplore IDE is basically the integrated development environment, which is the full meaning of the IDE, used to program or send instructions to our Xplore Bot. And so with that said, let's hop onto our laptop and see how to download and install it. So once you go onto your laptop, first open any browser. So I'm going to use the Chrome browser right here. Now, once you're at the Chrome browser, you are simply going to search for getxplorebot.com. Getxplorebot.com, just as you can see here. Then you search for it. It sends you to the official web page of the Xplore Bot. And as you can see at the navigation bar here, you can see IDE, right? So you click on that as well. Then right at the very first page of the IDE navigation, you will see download free here, right? Now with the Xplore IDE, you can download it onto Windows, you can download it onto Mac, and also you can have it as an Android application if you want to use a tablet or a smartphone. Okay, currently I am using a Mac operating system, so I will download for Mac. So I click on that, and as you can see, it has started downloading. So I'm going to wait for a while for the IDE to get downloaded, right? So as the IDE is also getting downloaded, I would want to draw your attention to the fact that with the Android application, you need to visit Play Store in order to download that one. Okay, so my application has been downloaded successfully. I'm going to go into my downloads here. All right, so you can see the Xplore IDE is over here. So I'm just going to click on it. Right, and drag and drop it. To install it on a Mac OS, you just drag and drop it to the application and folder. So once you are done with this, it's downloaded, so once you are done with this, it's installed successfully. So once you have your application installed, you are going to open it. So I'm going to open it from this. As you can see, my Xplore IDE is here. Then I click on it. Now, once you encounter this issue, please do not hesitate. Just click on OK and go to your settings and look for, scroll down till you see privacy and security, right? Click on that, then you scroll down again until you see open anyway. So you can see under the security, Xplore IDE was blocked to protect your Mac. So you click on open anyway to do that. Then you click on that here as well. Then you can enter your password. So right, so as you can see, my Xplore IDE has been successfully launched, right? Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the basic features of the Xplore IDE. If you open the Xplore IDE, the very first thing you would see are these colorful structures here, which we call the coding palettes. So the palettes are basically sections that contain some coding blocks that allows you to send a specific instruction to the Xplore Bot. So you can see we have the events, we have the basic sensors. All these palettes contain some specific blocks that allows you to do something, right? And whatever they allow you to do is actually being described with their names, right? So we can see here, for example, motion. Okay, a typical example is a motion. Now, anything concerning movement of the robot can be found here. So if you want to move the robot left, forward, right, and all of that, you can find the blocks to do so under the motion. Another thing I want you to see or take note of is this big space right here, right? So this big space here is actually the coding area. In order for you to actually get a program written for the Xplore bot, or a program created for the Xplore bot, you need to drag and drop all the blocks that you need to use onto the programming area, like so. So as you can see, I have dragged and dropped some blocks over here, and this is what will allow the IDE to be able to send those instructions to the Xplore bot. Also, you would realize that I'm currently in the very first project, which is my project. You can switch projects, right? So if you have a project, so as you can see, I have my very first project here, which is my project. You can add multiple projects by tapping on the plus icon here and then creating other projects in the same application, right? You can be working on different projects or different programs in the same application. Also, you have these tabs here for the AI assistants. Then we have the types of code that you want. So for example, if you are coding in blocks by default, which is what you are going to be using, you can select this. And also if you are coding in Python or in a text form, you can select that one as well. Then you see the programs in a text form, right? Always, when you write a code in a block form, it's directly being converted into the text form, which you can see when you click on the code side as well. Now, if you want to undo or redo something you can use these buttons. The very first one is undo, then the second one here is redo, right? Here are where you can also find your library. So the Xplore library or the firmwares that you need to have for your Xplore bot, you can find all of them here as well. Okay. Then finally, you can also convert it to light mode or the dark mode as well. So these are some of the basic things you need to know about the Xplore IDE. As we move on, you're going to learn more about the Xplore IDE. All right, so the next thing we are going to do is to connect our Xplore bot to the Xplore IDE. And so the first thing we'll do is to pick our Xplore uploading cable, which is this cable here. Let me unstrap it. And you are going to see these two parts, right? Now, this section goes to your laptop, then this goes to the Xplore bot. So I'm going to connect this to the back of the Xplore bot. As you can see, you have this connector here where you can connect this to. So I connect it in. You make sure it's inside very well, right? Then I connect this cable also to my laptop. So I connect it this way. Then now I move on to this bottom right corner of my Xplore IDE. I click on it, and as you can see, I have this particular button here, or this particular option in the list, which is the USB modem with some numbers, right? If you are using a Windows machine, you are going to see COM with a specific number attached to it, right? And if you have multiple COMs there, in order to identify the specific COM port that your laptop or the IDE is going to communicate to the robot, you first disconnect your robot and then you check amongst the list. So if I disconnect it, then you could see that among this list, that particular one dedicated for the robot will be removed from there. And so I connect it again to see the one that would add up, right? So once you connect it, you wait, and then you can see this one has been added. So that means this is the dedicated one for my Xplore bot. So I click on it to connect. Now once you see this highlighted in a green and with this particular circle here, that means the Xplore bot has successfully connected with the Xplore IDE. And so the next thing you're going to do is to first install our Xplore firmware, right? It's very important. If you receive your robot and you don't install the firmware, you are not going to have any program executing on the robot. So it's very important Just after you connect it to the Xplore IDE, make sure you install the firmware. So to install the firmware, you go to the bottom top corner, you click on the firmware or the library manager button. Then as you can see, Xplore bootloader. So that is what you need to upload. Once the robot is already connected, you just click on the flash firmware, right? So I click on flash firmware, and you would notice that at this top side, you see the notification showing you that uploading main.py. And once it's successful, it will also show you that library uploaded successful. Then you can click on done. So now I have my Xplore firmware connect. I have my Xplore firmware uploaded onto the Xplore bot. Now the next thing, which is also very critical, is after uploading the firmware, you need to disconnect your robot from your PC and reconnect it, right? So you disconnect and then you reconnect it this way. All right, now once you connect it, don't forget to come and also connect it with this particular button here. Right, so now I have my robot successfully connected to the Xplore bot, and this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you also learned something new. In the next video, we are actually going to learn how to now program the Xplore bot. So stick with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.